Hello dear students of class 5. As we were dealing with chapter 9, and you can refer to the page number 75, and the topic of the story was Why the Snail is So Slow by Santini Govindan. As we were reading about the character that was Snail, who was a very fast runner, but due to his conceit, his ability was to run in a very fast way, but as it turned out to be a kind of a pride, and which made him too much of this one, too much of a superior as compared with the other animals in the kingdom. So, and it was a time for searching for the new home, and everybody were welcoming him, and as because of his conceit and his superiority, he did not want to share any of this home which the companion had addressed him or had welcomed him to that house. So let us see whether the snail is going to get his home, or whether he is going to share his home with his colleagues. Actually he doesn't have any colleagues, but also whether he is going to share the new home which he was seeking with the new companion, or whether he is going to be alone till the end. For that we'll come to. Let us see what is the second part of the story. He met a crab who lived in a snug little crevice in a stone wall, and the crab pointed out helpfully that the wall had a plenty more of such as cubby holes, and the snail could easily move into one of them. So as he was looking for the home, as in the previous video we have seen that even the warm welcome was given by the other such animals also. So again he encountered a crab. Here, crevice means a narrow opening in the wall. As you all know, crab lives in a kind of a wall. So he pointed that, seeing the size of the snail. So the good friend of even the crab also welcomed the snail to come and you can make one of the room for him for living. But let's see what happens next. But the snail declined the suggestion with a rude snort and spirited away. So even when he was welcomed by the crab, he did not like that place. Because why? Actually he did not like that place. Because not because of that place was like the place was not good, because somebody already were living there. Because of that, he did not want to share the place. So as he was running without looking where he was going, he banged into a round hard object. So maybe he was in a hurry, he is running, he was looking, and without looking he banged in something with the round object. He rubbed his head and looked at the object carefully. It was a large brown corn-shaped shell. So finally, when he was looking, he got in a hurry. When he banged with this object, he came to notice that there was a large brown corn-shaped. It was a large brown corn-shaped shell. It looked very attractive, and as the snail poked his head into it carefully, he found that there was no one in it. So, with a little chortle of delight, the snail decided then and there that this was a perfect home for him. It had a room only for him, so he would not have to share his space with anyone. So finally he got his home, and decided that that was the home that the snail was searching, because it has only a room for the snail, and the snail need not to share that room or the place with anyone. He quickly crept into the shell, and a little twisting and turning found that he fitted it very snugly, very comfortably. He fitted there. So his little tail was hidden from view, of course, but he did not mind, as this would only be when he was at home. So he was happy and content now. Finally, he got his comfort in his snugful house where he is fitted there. Only the snail is the tail of the snail is just it was just not fitted there, but also the snail did not mind that. It's okay, fine. This is going to be my new home. Then tired from all his exertion, so the snail closed his eyes and fell asleep. When he woke up a little later, he felt quite refreshed and decided to go for a run in search of food. He tried to get out of his cell, thinking that he could slide. So after a search of a place or a home, and finally he found that the home which he had really desired for. So after getting tired, the snail took rest. Okay, took rest, and after waking up from the after taking a rest, was feeling hungry and wanted to go for a search of food. And what happens the next? Let's see. So he was trying to come out from the shell. He tried to get out of his shell, thinking that he could slide out easily, but to his dismay, he found that he was wedged so tightly into it that he could not move freely. Now, the problem is here. At first, it was fine. It was quite comfortable. Now, after taking rest, the snail is not able to come out from the snail was not able to come out from the shell. Okay, so sticking his head out, he began to struggle furiously, but it was of no use. In disappointment and exhaustion, he gave up. So after several tries, he was trying to from the front, I think from the back. He was trying to move out his head out, or he was trying to move out he was trying to come out from the shell, but not able to move at all. And towards then, due to disappointment and exhaustion, the shell gave up. But he was still very hungry, and it was long past his meal time. So he tried to arch his back in his usual way before he started his sprint, but he found to his horror that the shell which was clinging to his back was very cumbersome. So as the time has passed, after long struggle, the shell was not able to come out, but still the shell was feeling hungry, and it was necessary for the snail to take a food or a meal. So as he wanted to arch, and the moment have you seen, he tried to arch, it found that the thing or the house itself was so heavy. Here we have what the cumbersome. The meaning for cumbersome is difficult to carry due to its size. The size of the shell was very heavy. For the snail to carry that shell. It was heavy too, and he realized that he could only crawl along at a very slow pace. Luckily, the snail could move, but in not a pace that, as we already know that he was a fast runner. But luckily, at least he could slide slowly. He could move. the snail could move. And gasping and panting, he tried very hard to regain some of his old speed, but it was impossible. So, as it's a very pity, like somebody has got that ability to run, and towards the end, that person is not able to it's not able to move. Even forget about to run, it's not able to move little in a fast pace also. It's just moving slowly. The snail, which had been the fastest creature, had become due to his own selfishness. Yes, because the snail, there were so many other animals in the kingdom to welcome him, but he only did not want to share any room or any place with the other, because the snail used to think that it was very like it would be an insult for himself, because the snail used to think that he was a very superior animal, right? So this is what is the consequence. As the predicament sunk in, he was horrified. Your predicament means a difficult situation. Okay, as the difficult situation sunk in, he was horrified. Now the snail has to carry the sail and move around. Neither it can move fast, forget of running in the fast phase. The snail cried hot tears of regret. Obviously, there's no other thing to regret other than to regret, and wished heartily that he had not been so conceited and selfish. So always there is at least one good part is there. Something like after doing a mistake, one can regret, or at least one can do the correction. Okay, one can rectify oneself. But in this case, will the snail be able to will be able to solve the situation? I don't think so, because once the snail is stuck in the shell, whether the snail is going to remove the shell from its body, no. So there's other sad part also here, because we can rectify our mistakes, okay, but here the mistake has become such a kind of punishment that for the whole life the snail has to it reminds about the mistake, no, like it has to carry the shell with him. Yeah. So to this day, the snail cried hot tears of regret and wished heartily that he had not been so conceited and selfish, but all his regret were of no use. I've said, no, it's of no use. To this day, he crawls along very, very slowly with his tail hidden out of the side, and the shell is on his back forever. So just now I have talked about that. Some of the mistakes, okay, that we have done, that we do, can be rectified. Okay, that becomes a lesson. But some of the mistakes that stays forever. In the case of the snail, if the snail would have been very comfortable and would be very free and friendly by its nature, he would have not been the snail what the snail is right now. Okay, because so this lesson also it gives us some of the moral teaches us some moral lesson, telling that we should never be selfish and conceit, because these are all negative things that brings the downfall in a human. Or yes, this is example of given from the animal kingdom, but we being a human, we also has to take this as we should never be selfish and conceit. Okay, because these are all the negative things that brings downfall in our life. So this is one of the lessons. Okay, this is one of the lessons that we have to keep in our head. Okay, always be good to everyone, be kind, generous, and yes, be a human. That is also a good human. So with this note, I want to thank you all and take care.